You're listening to the Barretta Brothers, two of us. For best results, use both ears.
Hi. Happy 4th of July, late, 3:13.
It's the 5th of July now. Sorry. Sorry we missed the holiday.
Yeah. It happens. It happens.
We promise we're going to get this tech stuff in shape
By next
one of these
weekend.
episodes. We are getting, we will give you this, though, to kind of back up that
Pull
promise.
yourself together, Gene. Pull yourself together. It's okay. You're going to be all right.
Feeling a little
Don't get
faint.
all
Feeling a little faint.
Don't get all juddery. Don't get juddery.
We have ordered new equipment, so that is actually on the way. And we should be...
Look at us fixing our hair. And
I'm so flustered.
We should be okay. I think we're going to be all right by next weekend. We're going to have some fun guests with us.
Well, you know, Bill, even with all the technical problems, you always come through for me.
Really?
And yeah, it kind of reminds me of a little song that I think puts it together better than I can say.
Yeah.
And it goes like this. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Get
sir.
that song out of my heart.
Well, since it is thank you, I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And since it's the 4th of July, I just want you to know that you're my M80, you're my cherry bomb, you're my black cat, my ground spinner, my sparkler, my fountain. You're my popper snapping snake. You're my Roman candle, but most of all, you're the fireworks in my sky.
Ooh, baby. Pow!
Can you feel it?
Pow!
All right, let's get moving. We got
All right.
too much stuff.
Listen, okay, so here we go. Let's see. We've got a big show today. We've got the one and only Dr. Benjamin Franklin with us.
Holy mackerel.
Yes. We've got a Muppet trivia game
Yes.
with
very
contenders
exciting.
Jesse Oliver and John Papovitch.
Yes.
You're going to enjoy that. And we had a last-minute change. We were going to have some aunts and uncles on, but we're going to have them later on in another episode. But we have some surprises from our childhood that you might find
We had to
fun.
reschedule them. We apologize. We love them very much. But yes, we had to reschedule.
So before we move on, just a little shameless plugging. Go ahead, Bill. You want to start?
No. What am I plugging? You? GeneBarretta.com. Books. Art. He's got a website. You know those websites they have you can go to and you see stuff? Gene's got one.
Yeah. We also have one together, which is the BarrettaBrothers.com, which is where you can find everything you want to know about this show, and it'll direct you to our YouTube page where you can see all the other shows and subscribe. Where you can subscribe all the other subscribe and pass the word around.
And Jules' Little Gems, you can check that out. Haven't done a new episode lately, but we should be doing something in the next few weeks. Subscribe.
Right.
But subscribe to BarrettaBrothers.com.
Subscribe. I would.
Do you like the light blue? Do you like the light blue at all?
Subscribe to our YouTube page.
Oh yeah.
Without any rage. Subscribe to our YouTube page.
Oh yeah.
Just wrote that.
It's amazing how you just come out of the thin air with
It's hard to believe, but I just pulled that out of my brain. Or the other side.
Extemporaneous.
All right. Why don't we get to our man of the hour?
don't we?
We're going to have to send it over to virtual
Yes.
Gene and Billy, who are going to do the formal introduction.
That's
Should we go ahead and do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. And what's the point in waiting any longer?
All right, off to virtual
Gene?
Gene and Bill. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, hey, what do you think of my shirt?
I love it. It's great.
Isn't it?
That's a
the
very
man.
nice tribute. Very nice
We're
tribute.
we're about to talk to him. Can you believe that?
No, I cannot.
No.
I can't actually believe he's here. I don't know how this is possible. So I'll read this.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Here, you wrote the book. Why don't you
Okay.
read it?
All right. Thank you. Listen, our first guest is a printer, a statesman, a scientist, an inventor, and a humanitarian, cartoonist, humorist, musician, diplomat, and one of the founders of the United States of America. Would you all please welcome the Honorable Dr. Benjamin Franklin?
Dr.
There
Franklin,
he is.
hello.
Well, good afternoon and happy Independence Day.
That's how he
Thank you.
sounds.
That's how I sound. I've sounded like this all my life.
That's how he looks. I can't believe you're here with us. Thank you so much. This is unbelievable.
It is my honor, sir.
Oh, no,
on
no.
this-
It's our honor. Believe me.
Yeah.
No, it's my honor.
No. This is just to do this. And I can't thank you for saying yes. We really appreciate it. I know we have a friend in common who helped set this up for us. But thank you so much for doing this.
I am delighted to be here. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Listen, we couldn't have asked for a more appropriate guest on 4th of July and
my
celebrate 4th of July with us, because we're going to the source, folks, to get the facts. And what I did, I put together a list of really fascinating questions and facts about the 4th of July. And in the year 2020, a lot of those facts have gotten a little distorted. A lot of people just don't know as much as they would like to know. So I'm going to ask them to you and get
Or
your
have
comments
learned.
on them.
Like, honestly, Gene, about Ben Franklin because you wrote your book. But
Right.
I don't know.
You wrote a
lot
book
of...
about me?
I
He did. Show him.
Oh, heavens.
I happen to
You
have
did.
it right here.
Well, of course you do.
Well, that's
It's
an
all about your
excellent
inventions.
likeness.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really? Wonderful.
But I want to talk about your inventions later on. I want to talk
Okay.
about the 4th of July first.
All right.
Why don't we, though, before I get onto this list, just briefly set the scene for us. What was life like at the time the Declaration was being written and signed, and what were the conditions of life for you at the time?
Did it stink?
It stunk, sir. It stunk. Philadelphia was the second largest English-speaking city in the world at the time of the Declaration, just behind London. And at that, the population was about 32 to 35,000. So that's not very big. But we were bigger than New York, bigger than Boston. You would recognize the buildings and such. Certainly there was no electricity. Candles were the mode of lighting. The streets were very dirty. I lived near the tanneries, for example, and the people that did that work would throw all their effluvia into the stream, the nearby stream, the Dock Creek.
The
so
fluvia?
that was very, very effluvia. It's bodily fluids and that type of
Oh,
Nice.
or some people would say that effluvia arises from a swamp. It's the swamp gases that come.
Right.
But in any case, they threw trash in the street. There were no.
That's
there
awful.
were. Yes, indeed, it was quite bad. We were between two rivers too. We were between the Schuylkill and Delaware rivers, which surround the city of Philadelphia, and they tended to be a big open space and brought in a much fresher air.
But what did you have to do with the sanitation of the city?
Well, I arranged for people, a very early arrangement for people to pick up trash in the street and sweep the streets. I arranged to have the first street lights placed in Philadelphia, such that people can walk about in the evening.
When you say arranged, were you head of a committee, or were you just the people?
Well, I was
that job.
For a good enough, well, it was all self-driven. I saw the city growing up around me, and was often the motivating force to starting a number of these civic organizations. I'm credited with having started the first subscription library, the first firefighting company, the first fire insurance company, the first lending library,
Hospital,
a hospital, the University of Pennsylvania. All these things are attributed to me, but I was really sort of the motivating force for all these things. Wow. So I was a good organizer, and I was good at generating interest, getting people interested.
I'm sorry, Gene. I still can't believe he's here. I can't believe you're here.
I'll pinch my cheek. Ow! I'm here. I'm here.
Now, it wasn't just the fluvia that stank, correct?
Effluvia, yes.
Yeah, please tell us about the hygiene of the day, because bathing was not the fashion.
Bathing was very much out of fashion. It was a general understanding that immersing yourself in water was causing you to get sick. People bathed very seldom. It's just people had this idea that immersing yourself in water,
pollution,
like thinking that being cold would give you a cold. Like going out with a wet shirt would give you a cold. It doesn't really have anything to do with it. I lived in Boston and I lived in Philadelphia, both of which were very seafaring cities. And I saw a lot of sailors come in totally soaked from their adventures on the ocean. And none of them got any sicker than anybody else. Right. So I thought
so you knew how to swim? Did a lot of people swim?
No, sir. Not many at all. It was considered, once again, it was unhealthy for people to dive in the water. I thought it was wonderful. It gave me a chance to show off a bit because I could do all these fancy things in the water. And also it tended to keep me a little bit cleaner than the average person because I did immerse myself every day and wash off the bodily effluvia. But
so Gene, you mentioned something about people that would carry things around with them or something to help.
Well,
because
ladies would commonly carry a small linen bag with perhaps some scented flowers or something in there. And when the stench got too strong, they may quietly bring it up toward their nose and just cover the odors in the room. Right. But I know some people were fairly right.
Okay.
I mean, in the 18th century, the two major fabrics were wool and linen, and neither of which breathed as much as cotton. Cotton was not available for the average person until the late 1890s when the cotton gin came into play. And that began to mass produce cotton such that more people could afford it. I could afford cotton shirts and such because I was a man of means, but I would pay more dearly for them because they required much more work to create.
Can I ask a question? When, excuse me, doctor, you say a man of means.
You with your hand up. You with your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes.
You say a man of means. And how did you establish these means? How was your
my lifelong trade was that of a printer. And so at the age of 12, I took up with my older brother James in the printing trade. I ended up working in the printing trade for a total of 30 years. And by the age of 42, I was so wealthy that I could retire. Now, I believe not many people retire at the age of 42 in this day, but I accumulated a lot of money. I made a lot of good business transactions. And I was considered to be a man of means, a wealthy man.
Wow.
Watch this segue here. Speaking of printed materials, the Declaration of Independence was a document that was printed at least 200 times once it was approved, which brings me to my questions and my fun facts about the Declaration. Yes, Ben, I'm still recording. I don't know, maybe another half hour.
Sorry, doctor. We have kids.
Not a problem. I understand. I had 3 children. I had, to make a long story short, that when I got married in 1730, within the first month, I came home with a baby in my arms that was born unto another mother, who I've never revealed. And I asked my wife if she would raise it as our own child, which she agreed to.
Would you reveal it now?
We had a,
Would you mind revealing it now?
No, I've never. This is one of history's mysteries.
It's you're 314. Never... Let it go. Take the pressure off.
It was Sally Jones. Sally
okay,
Jones.
Sally
Right,
Jones.
Sally Jones.
All right. We'll
But
go with Sally Jones.
4 years later, we had a natural-born son whose name was Francis Folger Franklin, and he lived to the age of 4 and died of smallpox. And then 11 years later,
I'm
we had a
sorry.
natural-born daughter. That was one of the biggest hurts of my life, one of the biggest disappointments of my life. He was
That's
a wonderful,
terrible.
wonderful child. And then we had a daughter 11 years later. Her name was Sarah or Sally, and she lived a good long life. So we only had 3 children. I came from a group of 17 children. I was number 15 of 17.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
It's 4th
Who
of
is-
July. So I want to talk a little bit about the Declaration of Independence. Now, most people for centuries have believed that the Declaration of Independence was signed on July the 4th because we celebrate the event on July the 4th. But it was not actually signed that day, was it?
What?
Not signed that day, no, sir. The Declaration, the concept of gaining independence from Great Britain was discussed all through the month of June. On July the 2nd, Congress actually voted for independence. And then on July 4th, they endorsed the Declaration of Independence itself. The document had been written up and they actually endorsed the document on July 4th.
Okay, so there's a very popular painting out there showing all of the delegates together on July 4th signing the Declaration of
Yes.
Independence.
Yes.
But it didn't happen that way, did it?
It did not. It certainly did not. The document itself was ratified on July 4th, and John Hancock placed his name upon it. The real document, what we call the engrossed document with all our signatures on it, was done on August 2nd. That was the time that we all signed it. In the meantime, a very nice copy had been drawn up by hand.
I'm sorry to
Gotcha.
interrupt, but
Yeah.
what's the deal with John Hancock? Why is he the only one who gets to sign it? Was he like that? Was he just?
Well,
"I'm
he
gonna sign it"?
was like that. He was quite full of himself, as it were. But
Oh, really?
he was the president of the Congress, and he was the chief executive, and his signature gave the document some authority. It just indicated.
why
did he go? Did he kind of go? Give me the quill, and then kind of. I'm
I
signing.
don't remember
this
exactly
first.
what he did, but he was very much like that. He was very full of himself.
Watch how big I can sign this.
Oh yeah, and
There you go.
And then he signs it big.
Well, he says he signed it big so the King of England, King George III, would be able to read it without his spectacles. So as soon as he was handed the document, if he didn't have his glasses on, he could read Hancock's name right
And
on
you-
the top. That's
you
an
guys
indication
bought-
of
you guys
Hancock's.
bought You guys believe that?
He thought a lot of
didn't matter.
himself.
I mean, it was
He
like,
was the
lot of
president. He
himself.
thought a lot of himself. He did. So, the actual document was signed on July
August 2nd. Right.
August
Now,
2nd.
it wasn't signed all at once, correct? Now, what I've heard is that because of logistics, not everybody could be there at once. They had to travel from all the different colonies. And the last signature didn't go on until January of 77, and it spread throughout the fall and winter.
I'm sorry, Gene. So who
Go ahead.
wrote this, who pulled this together? Was there a group of some kind, or how was it?
Well, the
committee.
the Congress,
The
Congress designated a committee of 5. Myself, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Roger Sherman of Connecticut, and Robert Livingston of New York. All throughout the month of June, we got together and discussed the basic concepts. When we thought we had it complete, we gave the job of actually writing the draft to Mr. Jefferson. He was a lawyer. He was well-spoken. He presented himself well on paper. He had the unique ability to take people's thoughts and put them down in a very impressive form on paper. So he wrote the document.
I'm sorry.
So it wasn't.
So, I don't mean just to press this again, but so Hancock didn't even write any of it.
He was involved in the. He did not.
But he's out there signing it first. I'm putting my name on this thing.
Yeah, you're giving me a very different impression of Mr. Hancock now.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about it.
No, I
He didn't
understand. I
write it,
understand your
He-
queries. That's
right? Does it seem fair?
He was-
I don't know.
He was very full. He was the president of the Congress, and I imagine he thought he was.
Okay, but look what you did. I mean, look at all the things you did. He didn't do all the things you did.
Well, he
Right.
and I were of a different moral fiber. He and I.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Look, you're not going to get in trouble with the Hancock family. I mean, that's
Yeah, not at this
long.
point.
That's way back. So you can speak freely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time that it was signed, you know, it wasn't anonymous that people wanted independence.
Unanimous.
Yeah. What did I
Unanimous.
say?
Anonymous.
What did I say? Oh, it wasn't unanimous that people wanted
he's a silly
independence.
But you were all about the independence thing, right? You were kind of like, nope, let's do the independence.
Up to a certain point, after a certain point, let's say, I spent a lot of time in England just prior to the Declaration, and my goal over there was to try to get the Parliament to understand what our complaints were, all the unfairness about taxes and different issues that we had.
So you weren't for the independence idea?
Initially not. My goal was to patch up the difference between America and...
Let him talk, Billy. Billy, let him talk.
I like his curiosity. No, but I likened it to a beautiful Chinese vase that once broken could never be restored to its former beauty. So I saw the alliance of Great Britain and America working together as the most wonderful package of systems that could be.
But I don't mean to push this, but I'm just, because I don't. So you changed your mind, and why did people believe you? Why would anybody believe you now? You were over in England, and then you came back, and you said, I think I've changed my mind. I like it.
Well, I was. There were a lot of people that did think I was a spy, that I was involved in some sort of subterfuge. I was very good at expressing my thoughts, and I knew I had connections. I knew people to speak to.
And a person's word meant something, correct? A person's word really meant.
Absolutely. The concept of honor is virtually lost nowadays compared to as it was in our day. If you were a gentleman and you said you were going to do something on your honor, you did it. Even if it was uncomfortable or not to your liking, if you promised to do something, you would do it.
Wow.
And so I came back, and it was as a gentleman, I said, I am not any sort of spy. I'm fully in favor of American independence now. It took a while. There were a lot of people that were very suspicious.
Sure.
But I also, once I got on
I'm
back
a
to
little
the Congress.
Suspicious. I'm a little suspicious still.
Who
I'm
cares?
kidding.
What are your intentions, Dr. Franklin?
That's right, Dr. Franklin. Who cares? You're right.
Who cares?
So, Doctor, I just wanted to, I've just been thinking about this as we've been talking. You invented so many things. And I'm just, is there a favorite? Do you have a favorite invention of yours that you love the most? I know it's like children, right? How do you pick your favorite? But any favorite?
No, I had a rather clear favorite. I was the first American to invent a musical instrument, and that was called the glass harmonica, A-R-M-O-N-I-C-A. If you've seen somebody with a wine glass dip their finger in the wine, run it around there, it makes a very squeaky noise.
Yeah.
I watched a man playing that, and I came up with a better idea, an improvement.
So you created, in a sense, something that would continue to rotate so that they could put their fingers on it and take that work out of it, in a sense.
Yes, indeed. And one of the advantages was you could play several notes at a time, where you can only play 2 notes on the glasses. This way you could lay your fingers on several balls.
Listen, there it is.
Listen to that sound. Isn't that unusual?
Listen to that.
That's beautiful. Is that in your place there?
I have one in my place. I don't know where that is.
Somebody's playing it.
Somebody's playing it.
The first time I played this, my wife was asleep upstairs, and she awakened thinking she was hearing the music of the angels. It's a very, very delicate, beautiful sound.
Wow.
How about what do you think? What would you call your most important invention?
I think, in retrospect, probably the light.
Cheesesteaks.
No, I think it was probably the lightning rod. The metal rod that is affixed to the top of the house, connected to the ground by a heavy copper cable, connected to a spike driven into the ground. This will capture the electrical energy from the sky. It'll strike the rod and be conducted safely into the ground. And I think when you look back at the number of lives and the amount of property that has been saved from fire by this device, I think that's truly my most important invention.
Not cheesesteaks.
Well, cheesesteaks are right up there too.
Can I just change your mind if I ask, how did you come up with that?
Cheesesteaks?
Yeah.
There was a carriage back in 1748. There was a carriage carrying some beef.
Right.
And they had just invented cheese. It was just came out on the market. Yeah. It was a new thing. And part of the carriage contained cheese.
Yes.
And part of it contained beef. And there was an accident on the road. The beef was splintered and the cheese melted over onto it. It's very unusual. Very serendipitous.
It's very similar to a treat that we have called Reese's peanut butter cups. And they say, you put the peanut butter and chocolate together, and they would say, oh, you got your peanut butter on my chocolate. You got your chocolate on my peanut butter. So this is kind of the same thing. You got your cheese on my steak.
Cheese on my steak. That's
I don't believe you brought up the Reese's cup because I was out at a store today. This isn't a Reese's cup, but this is peanut butter. This peanut butter enveloped enrobed in chocolate, dark chocolate. So
that's like a nugget of thing. Anyway, that's the idea. Though. You got cheese on my steak. I got steak on my cheese. And you thought just put it in bread or something?
Yeah, why not? There were gobs of this melted meat and cheese there. Why not throw it on a roll?
What didn't you?
Maybe a few onions. Just
wow. The onion. Well, that's
whatever
it took with the onions.
I'm going to impress you a second.
While you're eating,
I can't understand you. You speak like you have peanut butter in your mouth.
Always looking for an excuse to eat on the show. All right, I'll put it aside.
Put it aside.
I know that you have something that Dr. Franklin invented right there in your home.
Any idea what I might have? One of your inventions?
Is it a long device with a handle on one end?
That it is.
How did you know that?
You're a psychic as well.
This grabber. Is called the long arm. Nowadays they call it the grabber, but I called it the long arm. I invented this. It's a long extension of your arm. I invented this to be able to grab the books from the top shelves of my library. I was always very fond of reading, but in my latter years, I didn't want to take a chance on falling in the library, so I used to reach up there and grab the books with that.
Gene, you're still eating. Jesus.
He's using the opportunity.
I'm so sorry.
The opportunity to
didn't Dunlop.
He's sneaking bites. As I'm asking him, he's sneaking bites of chocolate.
They're so
peanut.
delicious.
Like that's going to help. Like it's going to help him speak better. He goes, doctor.
Now he's going to choke on it.
Before we end here today, because I know you're a very busy man.
He has to be.
Let's put one rumor. Let's make clear some talk that is out there that I hear from a lot of people. It refers to your time spent in France, and it refers to
how much time do we have left?
You're right. It refers to a lot of the lovely French women that you met while you were there.
Talk about that?
Well, I was 70 years old when I went over there, first of all.
Yeah.
My wife had died the year before I went over. And so I was technically a widower. A lot of people thought I ran out on my wife and went to Paris. My job over there was to secure the French alliance, to get the French to agree to help the Americans win the war against the British. And so I found it easiest to do that by befriending the ladies and impressing them with these concepts. I attended a lot of parties and galas and such, and then they would go home and tell their husband, I met this wonderful Dr. Franklin, and he described life in America, and it was all part of a scheme to present the American life to the French.
A little bit of a player.
Yeah, a little bit.
I call bullshit.
You can detect that after all these years. It just gets riper after all these years.
Well, Dr.
Who had
Franklin,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Who
Do you
had
have
the
another
most
question?
Stuff?
I'm
Who had,
sorry?
like, the most stuff? Like, if you wanted to hang out with one of your buddies in the Congress, or who would you say? Oh, let's go over to what's and so's house because he's got all the good stuff.
Well, it'd probably be me.
You had all the good stuff, right?
I
was
had a
hoping
number
you'd
of
say that.
a lot of inventions, a lot of fun
Yeah.
things to play with, a
They
lot
all
of
wanted to come to
stories
your
to
house.
tell.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Right.
A lot of
I'll
stories
bet.
to tell.
'Cause you were older
Actually, but during the Constitution and the Declaration deliberations, my house was a mere 1.5 blocks from the State House, and I used to invite people over to I had a courtyard there, which is still to be seen in Philadelphia. But there was a mulberry tree, and I used to invite people over to sit under the mulberry tree, have an ale, and
Party animal.
yeah, it just
Now that
we accomplished a lot of things after an ale or two. A
I'll
lot of
bet.
people got in.
over at the City
Probably
Tavern.
still the case.
Yeah.
Probably. I dare say more of the Constitution was born in the City Tavern than in the State House.
Free
Because once
thinking.
people have a couple of drinks, they relax a little bit, begin to
Right.
compromise, and
Yeah.
things get
Right.
done.
Right.
On that note, listen, all due respect, we have to cut our time short because we have Muppet trivia to get to. So
Yes,
we're
well,
gonna say
if you had to make a choice between Muppet trivia and Benjamin Franklin, you got to go with the Muppet trivia. Apparently, I guess.
What is it? What is a Muppet?
I'll
Oh,
send
it
you
doesn't matter.
a note. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I'm sure you'd be a
Important.
fan, though. So thank you so much. I still can't believe that you're here and that you spent the time with us.
I'm happy to be here on this 4th of July.
I hope maybe we can do it another time. And yeah, I want to wish you not only a happy 4th of July, but I want to thank you for helping make it possible for us.
Yeah, and maybe
Perhaps I can come and meet one of these Muppets sometime.
Absolutely.
We can make that
Are you
work.
kidding? Maybe next time we get together, maybe you could bring Hancock along. Let's see what he's like.
I'll try my best.
I think that'd be fun. Just to see
Yeah,
you two together, I think that'd be great.
I think if he joins us, we should ask him to just sign something and then see how big he makes it.
Yes,
See how
that's
big
right.
he's done.
Right. Well,
Gentlemen, thank you very
again.
much.
Thank
It
you.
was our pleasure.
And have
And
a wonderful
my
Independence Day.
Take care.
Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Billy, before we go,
What?
this
Yeah.
is, I think, the most fascinating bit of information. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams were both signers of the Declaration, July 4th, 1776.
Right.
On the 50th anniversary of the 4th of July, which was in 1826, John Quincy Adams was president, the son of John Adams. That is pretty remarkable. He was president. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams both died that same day within hours of each other on the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And John Adams' son was president at the time. And to add to that, 5 years later on the same day, the fifth president of the United States, James Monroe, died.
On the 4th of July.
Yeah, pretty amazing, right?
Wow.
So I wanted to
I'll
just
tell you-
add that before we went.
I think that is amazing, but I think even more amazing might be the fact that we just talked to Benjamin Franklin.
Hey, does he look good for 314?
Does he look good? He still has skin. Right?
He's still upright.
I mean, his eyes are open.
He's not a skull.
Yeah, there's no like shit coming out of his mouth or anything.
It wasn't like we said, tell us about the Declaration. He just went,
Like a zombie.
so he looks good.
It looks amazing. 414. I didn't even think it was possible.
Well,
Oh,
now we
got
know.
it.
It can be done.
Yeah. Yeah. All
It's
right.
yoga.
Do we go back to us?
Let's go back to us. Let's go back to us live.
Yeah.
What do you say?
All right.
All right. Guys,
Ho! Ho! Of course. course you're eating.
Look at this 4th of July delicacy, would you?
What is that?
Patriotic colors, berries, tart. I've also got on my little dessert buffet here. Cupcake, flag
Very
cupcake,
nice. What'd you give
got-
me?
little pumpkin tart.
What'd you get for me?
This one,
That's mine?
chocolate chip, banana chocolate chip
Doesn't
cupcake.
doesn't look like the 4th of July at all. Looks like a rabbit dropped by.
Wait, hang on.
Looked like a rabbit walked by and dropped a few nuggets for me.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Thank
We'll
you.
have it overnighted. Okay, listen.
Okay.
When we were younger, in our early teens, we used to go out and make our own little home movies, and some of them turned out pretty well, very entertaining. And we're going to show you 2 now, and then we're going to have our little Muppet trivia. We're going to show you 2 after that. We would sometimes get inspired by
When
music.
you eat, you can't eat. Nobody wants to hear this, and so we're just trying to. The hell. So we've got this coming up in the movies week. All right. These are home movies that Gene is really the creator of. He was the organizer when we were kids. He got all the neighborhood kids to come and be in the movies, and he would figure out what we were going to do, and then he would shoot it and direct it and edit it and write it and add music.
I was young,
So-
so ignore all the clunkiness. But
He was young, and
I hope you enjoy these movies. Those are 2.
they're great, Gene. They're really good.
Yeah.
Think about it. That's what you organized when we were kids. You're amazing. Okay, let's move on. I think people are waiting for our next fun bit.
Do you think you know your Muppet facts? Look at me. Do you think
me?
you know your Muppet
Oh.
facts? Not you, them.
Oh, them, yeah.
Do you think you know them better than Jesse Oliver or John Papovitch? Good. Match your knowledge.
Huh.
We're going
You
to
think they-
send it over to virtual Gene and Bill and get the trivia game started, gang. This is actually the first installment of a new game show we call Oh, I Knew That.
Oh, I knew that.
So why don't we take a look?
Wow, that was great.
Amazing.
How old is he?
He's 314.
What?
I know. He's 314. 1706.
He looks amazing.
I know. Well, it's yoga.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Wow.
And he's a vegan.
Oh, really? Ben Franklin's a vegan? No way. He couldn't have always been a vegan. They were into
No.
hunting and all that stuff.
Just
he was
after
not.
he got gout.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was that, when he was 200?
I think-
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to look at his medical records. Anyway.
It's game time, folks. It's time to play. Oh, I knew that.
Our first episode of Oh, I Knew That.
Yeah.
Why don't we bring in our guests?
Yep. Let's bring in our guests. This is our trivia game segment. We're bringing in. There he is.
Well, folks, we've got John Papovitch with the headphones.
Hello.
John is a Muppet fanatic. He was
Oh, yes.
he once ran the Muppet Mindset Instagram page.
That's right.
And he's got quite an extensive collection of toys behind him.
Oh, yes, yes.
Do you want
All
to
kinds
point
of
out
great
anything
memorabilia.
special?
This isn't even all of it, but kind of organized a lot of it just to look good on the camera. Put Johnny up there just for Bill.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
And Dr. Teeth. Oh, yeah, I forgot he's there.
And who's our other contestant, Jane?
Jane?
Did I call you Jane?
She called him Jane.
Who's our next contestant, Jane?
Well, Jim, it's Jesse Oliver, animator, illustrator, Muppet fanatic, and competitor. And you think you know your Muppet facts? Wait till you get a load of these guys.
Yes. So what we're going to do you want to explain the rules, Gene, or I can?
Sure. We're going to give each of them a turn with a Muppet trivia question provided by toughpigs.com.
Oh.
Thank you.
So you know they know their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They've
Yes.
given us a selection of some really wonderful, challenging questions. We're going to go from one to the next. So, for example, we'll ask Jesse a question. If he guesses it, he gets a point. If he misses it, it goes over to John to steal and earn a point. So we'll go back and forth. We're going to give you each 5 questions. And at the end of those 10 questions, we'll tally it up. And, folks, you have a chance
winner
at winning this wonderful selection of gifts you can choose from. Bill?
Kermit's favorite late night snack, Eco Eat chocolate covered crickets, or Kermit's favorite daytime snack, Hormel pig's feet.
Ooh.
Nice. So,
Be a tough choice.
the winner gets to choose.
And so I just raised this up because I'll be picking the questions out of this.
I'll be picking mine from Bert's bowl of mystery questions.
Oh,
One
wonderful.
quick question.
Yes.
How many seconds will we have to answer these questions?
Good question.
As long as we decide.
Okay. Your show,
All right.
your game.
That's right. We're gonna.
I get a gut feeling some of these I'll have to think about, so.
You know,
Well,
I do have a timer.
I hope
here
not
we
too
can
long.
use.
Okay.
I have a
Not too
Why don't we
long.
use the timer now that we're talking
All right.
about it?
No, timer schmimer. Come on, let's play.
This
All
could
right,
be a
who's-
series at the end.
Jesse?
Yeah.
Who's going first? Actually, Jesse, pick a number between 1 and 50.
30.
Incorrect. Okay, we're going to start with John. Here we
Okay.
go. All right, John, here's your first question.
Okay.
I'll keep score.
All right. Shouldn't be hard because it's the first question to keep score. Here we go. John.
Yes.
Duh. Gene, I need some music behind it. Bum, bum, bum,
Dun,
bum.
da, da, dun, dun.
Name 2 products promoted by Wilkins and Watkins besides Wilkins Coffee.
Oh. Caramel milk, I believe, was one of them. And another. Oh, this one is good. So I have 1.
10,
There we go.
9, 8,
Da,
7,
da, do,
6,
da, da, do.
5, 4, 3,
Yeah.
2,
I only got 1. I don't think I can. Yep.
Dun,
Okay,
dun, dun,
Jesse.
dun.
Jesse has a
Sorry.
chance to steal.
Okay, that's right. Jesse?
Community Coffee and Red Diamond Coffee.
Ding, 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 ding.
Those
ding,
I
ding,
did
ding,
not
ding,
know.
ding, ding.
Those I did not know. That was good,
Wonderful.
Jesse. That was
Very
good.
good. Very good.
By the way, gentlemen, I assume you're being gentlemen and not surfing the internet for these answers.
yeah,
So,
My hands are free. I'm on my laptop, but all I have is you guys up.
that's
I'm
true. You know what? I'd like
sure
hands
about
like
that.
this. I'd like your hands to be like this during the
Wakanda forever.
Thank you.
believe me, it's all in here.
All right,
This
here
is
we
all
go.
I'm going
The next question goes over to Jesse.
Dun, dun,
Who performed Lindbergh on the Jim Henson Hour?
dun, 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 dun,
Ooh.
dun, dun.
I know he's a Canadian performer. It has to be either like Gord Robinson or Rob Mills.
Which is your
I
answer,
need an
sir?
answer.
I'm going to go with
10.
Gord Robinson.
Now, I need to go to the judges for this. Well, here's what I'm going to do. It's not an exact answer, but I'm going to go over to John Papovitch to see if he knows the absolute correct answer.
I do know that it's Gordon Robertson.
What did you say?
Gordon Robertson.
What did you say,
Oh.
Jesse? Robinson?
Yeah, Gordon Robinson, yes.
It's Robertson. So, John Papovitch gets the point.
Oh.
Oh,
quite a technicality,
Ding, ding,
okay.
ding, 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 ding,
Canadian
ding.
performer.
Very nice.
Okay,
It's
Lindbergh is
Robertson.
right here, so look at that.
My little is my
Oh, yeah.
my buddy and pal Gordy. Okay, here we go. We're gonna pick a new one. Now we're back
All right.
to. Oh wait, now who am I picking for? John,
For
right?
John Papovitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, John, you ready?
I am ready, yes.
I picked a special one. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. We do. I didn't even look at these, by the way, so I don't even know what they are. We just cut them up and stuck them in my glass. Okay,
Sure, yeah.
here we go. Are you ready, John?
I am ready, yes.
What do Gaffer, Fluffinella, and Little Murray Sparkles have in common?
They are all Muppet cats.
Ding, 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 ding. Very good. Very good. Wonderful. Okay, moving on. Next, Gene.
Let's send it over to
Jesse?
Jesse Oliver.
All right.
It is 2-1. John is up
Correct.
by 1 at the moment.
Okay, please allow me to read the entire question. A photo from the 1970s shows Kermit in a car owned by Jim Henson. The car is green and its headlights look like Kermit's eyes. What was the make and model of that car?
Oh, now that's a toughie because I don't have not much knowledge to names of cars.
Yes.
So
But
that's
can
gonna
you
be
talk it through a little? Talk it through a little. Maybe talk it through a little bit.
Do you want to call a friend?
What did it look like, the car? Do you remember?
Well, I know it was green and it had Kermit eyes.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm guessing it was like a 70s type of car, I guess.
Was 70s.
I'm just not good on car names.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Just take a guess.
1.
I can't. I don't know much car names.
That's okay. That's okay. Sorry. Let's go to John. John, any idea?
Yeah, the only thing I feel like I could add that I don't even know is right or not that Jesse didn't say was I want to say it was a Ford car.
It's not going to do it for us. We're sorry, guys. Sorry. And boom, 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 boom.
The guys at Tough Pigs told me it's going to be a combination of really difficult and, moderately difficult, the whole gamut.
Here we go.
We go to our next question. This goes back to John.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, well, okay. In Muppet Treasure Island, which 3 performers played Bad Polly, Mad Monty, and Clueless Morgan?
Okay, I do actually know this. You underestimate how many times I watched this movie as a kid, and the sing-along tape, which I know these 3 were very prominent in. So I know that Bill Barretta here was Clueless Morgan, Kevin Clash was Bad Polly, and Jerry Nelson was Mad Monty.
Very good.
Ding, ding,
Very
ding,
good.
ding, ding.
All right, Jesse, come on. We gotta. You're behind now by
Yeah,
2 points here.
I thought this was going to be like a home run for you, Jesse.
Well, I mean,
He got the car one. That was hard.
Let's see,
That's
it's
true.
early in the
That's
game.
true.
It's
Right.
early in
Okay.
the game.
Right.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Jesse, if you don't know this, I will no longer talk to you. How many points are on Kermit's collar?
11.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, all right. It's 2-3. Here we come. Back at John.
Round 4. Phil, before you read it, let me just remind everybody of something.
What they're gonna win?
Oh,
That's
boy.
right.
Mm.
Yum,
That's
yum,
the
yum,
good
yum.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Here we go, John. You ready?
Yep.
You nervous? Why aren't the hands on the chest?
Why
Why aren't your hands like this?
Come
on.
Just cover up the design. There we go.
Vampire pose.
How many Muppet Labs sketches does Beaker appear in the first season of the Muppet Show?
0. He wasn't at till season 2.
Ding, 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 ding. Very good. Very good. John's got 4, Jesse.
Can I take these down now?
Uh-oh.
Yes, you can take those down.
Okay.
I don't think I gave the answer to the question that you guys missed. Did I talk about the model and make of the car that was green with the Kermit head?
No, you didn't.
You didn't know.
It was a Lotus Eclat. Eclat or Eclat?
Okay.
Okay, so we're back to another question. Okay. Name the 4 members of Little Jerry and the Monotones from Sesame Street.
It's Little Richard,
Little Richard. Okay.
It's Little Jerry,
Mhm.
Big Jeffy,
Mm-hmm.
Rockin' Richard,
Rocky. Okay.
and Chrissy.
Ding, 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 ding.
He's still in the game. It's 3-4.
Very
We're going
good.
to round 5.
This is good. You guys are awesome.
This is good, yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Okay, quiet, everybody. The
Vampire
White Lion,
pose.
who's the White
Jesse's
Lion.
in vampire pose. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Jane. John, you must go into vampire pose.
Or
Thank you.
prayer pose. That was working. The White Lion, who served as Jim Henson's sidekick on the Jim Henson Hour, originated in an episode of The Storyteller. Which episode was it?
Uh-oh.
Okay, we're all ready because I do know this answer. It is called The True Bride.
Correct.
We have a winner.
Well,
Oh,
at the end of 5 questions.
What are the
John
odds?
Papovitch.
yes.
I have to confess, I thought Jesse was going to pull through this.
I was very confident because I've known Jesse for years, just like you guys probably have, and I know his Muppet knowledge is extremely
Absolutely.
commendable. And I thought this was going to be a home run for him too. So,
And I think
the cars
it's
are tough, and I don't
Yeah.
have too much of a storyteller knowledge.
no, and it's it's all the luck of the draw, right? These
Exactly,
were all very
yeah.
random. Thanks to Tough Pigs again for their questions. And
thanks, Joe. Thanks, Ryan.
Now, the important question
Now,
is,
that's
John,
what
which prize
will you
would you like to
choose?
pick?
Oh, gotta go with the pig's feet, if I'm being honest here.
Oh, very good. Okay, we'll be sending you the pig's feet.
Don't
Now,
let
very
Howard
good.
Tubman or Bobby Vegan know, though.
Oh, that's a deep cut there.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesse, we don't want to let you go without first letting the people know that they need to check out Jesse's work, because he is an awesome illustrator and animator who has worked with John Cristofalusi, of all people.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
That's
If
right.
you want to see, why don't you tell the folks where they can see your artwork?
Okay, well, my cartoon work you can see on both Instagram and Facebook, and it's called Oliver's Twisted Cartoons.
Okay,
You can see a lot of my cartoon creations, some of my animation, and
excellent.
for my Muppet art, you just go to my regular Facebook page, just search Jesse Oliver, and you can look through my pictures and you'll see a photo album of some of my Muppet drawings.
Mhm.
Which, speaking of which, I have a very funny story to tell.
Okay,
Yeah, let's hear this.
Okay, now, I love telling this story because it reflects so much of how much you guys love to playfully mess with each other.
Mhm.
Okay, so I was fortunate enough to visit the set of the Muppets ABC series at Disney Studios in LA. It was so great just hanging out, just watching those guys work their asses off, just making
Sure,
their Muppet magic work. Okay, so it's the second day I was there, and that particular day, it started raining. I'm wearing my black leather jacket. So I open the door, I'm ready to go outside, trying to the best I can to quickly get out of the rain, and suddenly I feel somebody shove me out of his way. And the guy turns around, and it turns out it was Dave Goles. But here's the funny thing. When he turned around and he saw me, he knows who I am. He knew who I was.
Yeah. Dave's a good guy. Yeah.
He actually said to me, "Oh, Jesse, I'm so sorry. I thought you were Bill Barretta."
that's great.
Oh,
Thank you for joining us on our first episode of I Knew That.
I knew that. John, well done. And like we said,
John,
it was a random drawing. We didn't know what was going to come up, but you guys were awesome. Thank you so much for coming and doing this. We
Sure thing.
really
I love
appreciate
Of course, it's a total pleasure to be on here with you guys.
Oh, thank
Do it
you
again.
so
guys.
much.
Take
Okay,
care.
talk to y'all later.
Take
All right,
care.
see ya. You guys all have a
Bye.
great one. Bye.
Thank you, John. Thanks.
Bye.
That was a nice first episode of
They're nice boys.
yeah, well behaved.
They're nice. Now,
Got the knowledge.
how old is Jesse?
I think he's 77,
And John?
at least 15.
Well, John looks older than 15, but Jesse looks amazing.
For 76.
Wow.
It's yoga. We have me
And
and
me.
Bill.
Um,
Well, listen, I've heard from John, and the pig's feet have arrived
oh, did they?
at his home. Yep.
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
hope they're
Here,
tasty. Yeah.
we're going to
Okay,
watch
so
a
what do we
little.
got?
We've got another great music video before the MTV days, Blue Jay Way. This is a very surreal, weird one.
It's very trippy.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be something that I'm not.
We don't know.
And then the last one is You Don't Mess Around with Jim, another little music video. It's you'll see.
By the way, let me just add, this is the Blue Jay Way. It's a good example of how you mentioned sometimes how I would drag you along and just make you do anything in these projects.
And I would do them. Billy, jump off the roof. Okay.
Billy, dress like you do in this film.
Yeah.
I won't give it away.
Put this on and do this with your hair. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Jesse's telling us that the Muppet caricatures of Jim Henson, Frank Oz, and Jerry Nelson performed You Don't Mess Around with Jim on the Perry Como Christmas special in 1972. Jesse, why didn't we have that question in the trivia game?
Yeah.
We're going to have
Boy.
those guys back or something. Rematch.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I have a couple questions, but two statements here. Nick Knapp said of all the films, Blue Jay Way was his favorite, the trippiest one.
I'm sorry, but he didn't see the last one.
Well, then let us know, Nick Knapp.
You didn't let him see the last one, Gene. You jumped right onto the Blue Jay Way one.
I took it from the stream.
But it wasn't finished.
Okay.
You didn't
Nick,
see it.
Nick,
Well, now what do you think? Can you clarify, please? We'd like to know, Nick, now, which is your favorite? Now you've seen all four.
Nick Knapp, not Nick Now.
Nick Now.
Okay. Also, Eve Cunning is, from now on,
Nick
she's
Knight.
going to be calling you Wood Elf.
All right. I don't know how often we're going to be engaging, but yeah, sure. If you'd like to call me Wood Elf whenever you feel comfortable, go right ahead.
All right. Let's take a few questions because we're running this show.
We are. We're way over.
Okay, here we go. Bill, Marshall Grover asks, what were your favorite things to do as Rolf and Dr. Teeth?
My favorite things? Sing.
Well, any particular performances?
I really enjoyed doing Outside Lands up in San Francisco, doing that live show with Dr. Teeth. And Rolf, a really quick thing that I did with Alicia Keys for a Wee Day celebration. I just enjoyed being with her. Can't really think of. There you go.
I'll tell you my favorite Rolf one.
Yes.
This was when I was watching you do this, not live, unfortunately, but I just, it was one of those moments when I said, how did he get there? I was so impressed and amazed just by how far you've taken your career and how amazingly talented you are. And it was at the O2 show when you were playing, what's the song called? I Want to Be a Londoner?
No. Oh, well, Londoner or I've Been Everywhere too. But yes, the Londoner one.
The Londoner one, because you could watch you at the piano and you're not only singing as Rolf, but you're turned and you're singing to the audience as you as well. Maybe you're not even conscious of that. But that was one of those moments where I said, that's my brother. I can't believe he's in front of tens of thousands of people with confidence and putting in a strong performance. I don't think I ever told you that.
No, thank you. And I think at that point, you don't really have a choice whether you're going to run or hide. So,
yeah, right.
but you know what? That could be my Rolf, probably one of my Rolf, either one of those songs. I've Been Everywhere, which we did. And then a Londoner, which was great. Yeah, both live, I guess. Yeah.
This
by
just
the way,
in.
Nick. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you.
Still Blue Jay Way.
Yeah. Went with number 3. Thank you, Nick.
Jesse saw Bill at La Hollywood Bowl doing that show, that
Yes.
performance.
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me. If only I had some food in my throat to soften it.
Yeah.
Got 3 cupcakes sitting there. Evan asks, what's our favorite animal? What are our favorite albums, and what will Gene eat next week? I think I'm being banned from bringing food onto the show.
No, go ahead, eat.
Well, I don't want to disturb anybody unless some.
No. fine.
Unless it's ASMR for some people.
Make sure it's sticky, whatever you're eating. Make sure it's sugary, powdery, peanut. Something that makes you
That is
go.
good. That is good. Look, I keep my girlish figure, so. What do you
What's
want
your
from me?
favorite album? It's too
I don't know
hard.
my favorite album. Yeah, it would probably be a Beatles album.
Yeah, how can you pick?
Yeah, you can't. You just
I
can't.
like something that just pops in my head. This is my favorite, Captain Fantastic, Brown Hair Cowboy.
Oh, wow.
Just pops in my
Jeez.
head because it's a favorite. James Taylor, The White Album, Fleetwood Mac
Revolver.
Rumors,
Yeah,
endless.
Peter Gabriel's Security.
Tommy by The Who,
Wind and Wuthering, Genesis.
Backstabbers,
Fleet
Stevie
Foxes,
Wonder,
Happiness Blues.
Songs in the
Stevie
Key
Wonder,
of Life.
Songs of the Key of Life.
So it's too hard.
Yeah.
Too many.
XTC's Oranges and Lemons. Okay, and so we answered both of those questions. I don't know what I'll be eating. You're going to have to tune in and see what I'll be eating. And we're going to have, next week, we're going to have Alton Brown back.
And
So
the Eds.
who knows what we might be eating.
Oh,
And the two Eds, Ed Christie and Ed Eith. So please tune in for that. It's going to be a really fun show. And we're going to have better technicians. So we're going to be working with the team that brought you the Dinosaurs Reunion and the Frank. Did I make more sound?
We're going to be working with.
Maybe that's how. Maybe I punctuate with those sounds. My lips might be dry. Frank Oz, Dave Gold episode. Okay, last question of the evening, gang, and then we're going to say our little goodbyes and all that.
Yeah.
I did it again.
Uh-huh.
Betsy Dufour.
It's like a setup. It's like it's almost like if you were it's a beat, but it's like almost if you were to say, "I'm ready to speak."
My son is standing in front of me with no clothes on. Yeah, really.
I want jelly beans.
Well, what
You need?
all right,
well, you have to be
beans. We're
naked
he
for
wants
jelly beans.
Yeah.
While he's
You
naked.
can wear
Why?
clothes while you eat jelly beans. All right. Good thing there's no mirror behind me.
Here's one. This isn't a question. Oh, it is a question. It's real fast though. Could
ahead.
we have some Sesame Street cast members? Could we have some Sesame Street cast members on in the future? Yes, we will be doing that. I hope if they. Accept
we're
our
just
invitation.
starting, folks.
We're just getting started.
And you know what? One day we're going to look back at these technical boo-boos and just laugh.
Subscribe. You want to have Sesame people on? Tell your friends. Come and subscribe.
Yeah. Listen, it's going to cost you.
Okay.
What do we have to
Cost
do?
you to click. You got to click.
It's like the genie in the bottle. Instead of rubbing the lamp, you've got to click the subscribe button.
Click.
All right. Before I forget to ask Betsy
Go.
Dufour's question, this will be the last of the evening.
Yes.
And maybe we can make it musical. If you could be a balladeer, what would you sing about? Billy, you start.
What would I be? Who?
A balladeer, someone who sings ballads. What would you sing about?
Oh. What would I sing about? You mean a song that already exists or anything?
Oh, just maybe a theme, a type of song, or.
I would sing about tolerance, being tolerant of people. Yeah, that you have, like, you're patient. You're being patient. You're gonna sing a song about being patient with others, caring.
I would probably sing more melancholy, broken-hearted songs. I tend to go in that direction a lot, maybe because I'm just so broken-hearted all the time.
Wake up, all you people. Order anything you see and have fun, you lucky people. The laughs and the drinks are on me. You know
Is that a
song?
tolerance song?
No, that's a Frank Sinatra song.
Oh, gotcha.
All right.
She once loved me, now she's gone. What'll I do? Everything is all wrong. And then I'm going to workshop that a little bit.
All right. Let's go bye-bye now.
All right, so Next week's show, like we said, next Saturday, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Alton Brown, wonderful gentleman, great chef, actor. I won't even list it all now, but look out for the ads. Ed Ife, Ed Christie. If you're Muppet people, you know who I'm talking about. And if you're not, you're going to learn a great deal and be really entertained by everything they all have to say. And subscribe.
See you all later. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you hopefully
Happy
next
4th
weekend.
of July, everyone. Happy
You
4th
all.
of July. Bye.